So today we're talking about the coordinate system. So as you can see, this is our coordinate grid right here to the left. And that's going to be my intersecting lines, meaning they come together. I have my y-axis right here, which is going up and down, vertical. And then my x-axis right here, and that is going horizontal, so you'll see that kind of left to right. So another vocab word that we have as we're dealing with coordinate systems are coordinates. And these are going to be pairs of numbers that are going to be placed on your coordinate grid. And they look like X and then with a comma and then Y, and they're in between two parentheses. And so as you go to place your coordinates, you're going to go over the X first and then up and down with the Y coordinate. And so as we practice, you'll kind of see how these coordinates work within the coordinate grid. Okay, for example, this is going to be our first example right here. So I've got my coordinate grid, and then I have my coordinates on the left. So the first thing I'm going to do is place these coordinates on my coordinate grid. So I have my X and my Y pairs. So I'm going to go over, this right here is my X axis and here's my Y axis. So I'm going to go over 3 on the X axis, which is all the way right here. And then I'm going to go up 2 on the Y axis, which leads me right here. And this is my point right here, that blue dot, that is 3, 2 on the coordinate grid. All right, now I'm going to do the second, which is this lime green, and it's 11, 5. And again, here's my X, and here's my Y. So I'm going to go all the way over 11, and then I'm going to go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, you don't have to draw the lines that you see here. I like to do it I would use my fingers as I'm tracing, but I'm using my pen to kind of show you as I'm moving. So go over 11 and then up 5. And so this is, you'll put a point right there, and that is where 11, 5 meets. And then now we have a bunch of letters here that we're going to have to find on our coordinate grid. All right, so I have 5, 8 in pink. So I'm going to go over again. Remember, X is always first, and then Y. So I'm going to go over 5, and then I'm going to go all the way up. So here's 5 over 5. And then I'm going to go all the way up to 8. And that gets me at letter M. All right, I'm going to kind of erase that so we can see the next one. Now I have 12, 2. And again, X first, then your Y. If you switch them, you will end up in a completely different spot. So I'm going to go over 12, which is all the way over here, and then just up 2, which gets me at letter P. All right, so now I'm going to do 8, 7. So I'm going to go all the way over 8 and up to 7 right here, which lands me with letter H. And then 12, 10. So I'm going to go all the way over 12 again, and then all the way up to 10, and I land at G. So this is one way that you can use a coordinate grid where you have points already on your grid, and then you have to locate them. And then the second way, underneath these white dots here, I have the letter C, but I need to write where that letter C is on my coordinate grid. So always remember, I have my parentheses, and they're separated by a comma. X is always first, so I need to know how far over C is. So I'm going to find C right here. Okay, now how far over is it? So I'm going to start going this way from the 0, and it is at 8. So I'm going to write my 8 first, and I'm going to see how far up I need to go for my y-axis. I'm going to go all the way up, and it looks like you can kind of see over here, I end up at 5. So the coordinates 8, 5, that is letter C. And if you finish and you kind of want to check your work, I'm going to go over 8, I'm going to go up 5, and yes, that lands me at C. All right, my last one is letter R. So I'm going to locate that on my coordinate grid. And here it is right there. So again, I'm going to put my comma or my parentheses and then my comma down first so I don't forget that. R. So I'm going to go all the way over 1. So that's my X because I'm going over first. And now how far up do I need to go? And there. That's the line that I end up at, which is 9. Again, I kind of like to check my work to make sure that I ended up in the right spot. So I'm going to go over 1 and all the way up to 9. And that lands me at R. So here's your lesson practice. You have the same grid. And I just need to know what are the pairs, the ordered pairs for N, A, L, and J. So you might want to pause the video so that you can look at this and write these down. So find N, find A, find L, find J. Don't forget parentheses and your comma in between.